What's going on, guys? Joker back again once again, and today we are back with more Destiny Rise of Iron. But before we get started, go ahead and ninja the crap out of that like button. You already know that your support is appreciated. So we're going to have a bit of a ramble today. We're going to talk about Thorn. And for those of you who do not know, all 5 of you, Thorn is making a return in year 3. Now, this is kind of divisive because for me, I'm really excited about it, right? But I imagine a lot of the community is like, no, fuck Thorn. And they're thinking back to House of Wolves, essentially, when Thorn was just the most dominant weapon in the game. Everybody used it. And, well, you really had Trials of Osiris to blame for that. Everybody wanted the win. Everybody wanted to go to the lighthouse. It was way more competitive than it is now, even. And, yeah, so Thorn became the go-to weapon. Thorn... final round effort eats spear. This could one-shot you in the body, for those of you who do not know. And then there was Fellwinter's Lie. If you think Conspiracy Theory D is bad, Fellwinter's Lie with Field Choke and Rifled Barrel and whatever could cross-map you. Like this made the Universal Remote look like a joke. This made Conspiracy Theory D look like a joke. Occasionally, you'll still see somebody running around with Fellwinter's Lie, and let me tell you, you do not want to be on the other end of that shotgun. So, yeah, this was the meta for the better part of 6 months, by the way. So we kind of had to deal with that, and then we had the 1-week meta coming into Taken King, and then, yeah, Thorn pretty much died right after Taken King came out. Now, it wasn't completely neutered, it was interesting, but it was still somewhat of a problem, but then they went ahead and neutered it again. And, well, now, currently, if you're killed by Thorn, honestly, you're just bad. You're just bad. You just got outplayed. And that really kind of extends to any DOT effect currently in the game. And, I mean, Sunsingers, look at them right now. They're pretty bad. They're in a bad place. They're not in a good place. And most of that has to do with Firebolts getting nerfed and Scorch getting nerfed and, yeah, just Sunsingers in general getting kind of shit on as of late. So with Rise of Iron, we now have this artifact called Memory of Silumar. And with Memory of Silumar, what it does is severely decreases the effect of DOT status ailments. So what does that really mean for Rise of Iron? Well, it could mean a couple of things. We do know now that there'll be mimics in the game. Mimics are chests that look like chests, but they're actually traps. They're actually monsters. So Destiny's going to have a version of that. Probably something fallen like your fallen chest, and you go and open it, and oh, suddenly it's poison and it's DOT, and you're like, well, fuck me, and then you die standing there. But nobody really cares about dying in patrol, right? Like, you die in patrol, you respawn 3 seconds later, 5 feet away, okay, whatever. I jump off maps, you sparrow launch off the Cosmodrome. I mean, this is just things that we do already, nobody cares. I don't see that really being that big of an issue. What I could also see them doing is bringing bosses, having DOT be a boss effect. So in that case, yeah, this would be kind of a necessity, especially if you go into the Archon's Forge, which is the new PvE version of the Court of Oryx. So if we have that, maybe there's a boss in there that does DOT. Maybe there's a boss in the raid that does DOT. I could see that very easily. Maybe there's a section in the raid where you're running through poison and somebody's got to have this artifact, or you might not actually make it to the end. But at that point, with the raid being 3 days out, they'd need to sell this artifact week 1. And I don't think that's going to happen. Yeah, if I see it there week 1, we know the obvious choice. So what I could see them doing, though, is having all of that, but they're also bringing Thorn back, right? And Thorn, as far as we know, will be tied to some kind of quest. It will be a quest reward. Now, we don't know what kind of quest that is, what kind of quest reward that means. That means a couple of things after Taken King. Now you have I just finished my story mission. I'm going to go talk to Zavala and he's going to give me a thing. I'm going to do this long, drawn-out exotic quest that I got from like Holiday for the Chaperone. Or I'm going to do all these little quests, and then at the end of the quest, you just so happen to get an exotic, like with Bully and Gemini. Or it could be like something like Black Spindle, where it was just kind of hidden in a mission, right? That was hard. That was a really hard mission to complete, especially in the early days of the Taken King. So I could see Thorn being buried in, say, the new version of the Summoning Pits. And once you activate this new version of the Summoning Pits, say during a Nightfall, then yeah, it's all bets are off. You have 5 minutes to complete this strike, and if you do, you get Thorn. If you don't, well, queue up again. I could also see it being tied to something like No Time to Explain, where you got the quest, but you still had to wait a couple weeks, couple days for it to reset and for you to get all the components and whatnot. You had to go find all the ghosts. That would actually be really cool if I had to go through a mission, find a bunch of ghosts. These ghosts were recordings, and they kind of told you the story of Thorn while we're going through this version of whatever the new Hellmouth strike is. I could see that. That would be really cool, honestly. You go through and you learn the story of Dredge and Yor. You learn why this gun's important, and then you get it. Or you get part of the quest. You start the quest to get it, like you did with No Time to Explain. Or it could be like the Sleeper Simulant. But we already know that the new Kovstov is the Rise of Iron version of the Sleeper Simulant. So, I don't know. There's many ways that they could do that. But at the end of the day, the reward has to be worth doing the quest. And currently, I don't think Thorn is worth the 150 legendary marks that it's going to take to get any of the other Year 1 exotics that may be brought forward. See, in Year 1, when Thorn came out, again, I have really fond memories of this gun being my first exotic, but it was shit. It handled like shit, it shot like shit, it had 6 bullets in the clip, mag, whatever. It was just bad. It was just really, really, really bad. And it was not worth the quest, honestly. You would go through and you would do this really hard version of the Summoning Pits. You would then have to do 500 void kills. You would then have to do a couple of other things. Then you'd get this gun. Every other gun in the meta at the time, Suros, Lord High Fixer, Red Hand 9, a good Red Hand 9 back then was really good too. Shadow Price, all these different guns, Grim Citizen, were just way better. They just way outclassed Thorn. And so I don't remember exactly if it was before Dark Below or after Dark Below, before House of Wolves, in that 6-month intern between the two, where they finally go, okay, yeah, no, Thorn's bad. We need to do something about it. And this was the patch that they also updated Bad Juju and stuff like that. So Bungie understands the necessity of the rewards being worth it. And I'm just kind of looking at all the pieces of the game and all the stuff that they're kind of announcing, and I'm going, this could all tie together into something where, hey, this is a really super hard quest to do. We've also brought forth this item that allows you to virtually negate DOT. We're going to put Thorn back at where it was. Like, there's no reason not to. But those are just my thoughts, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know yours in the comments below. And like always, stay frosty.